One of the key drivers of likability and hence influence is familiarity. Things that we're more familiar with, we have a higher propensity to like. It may seem a bit counterintuitive because there are lots of people that maybe you don't like, and the more that you see them, you're kind of detested when you see them, or you're reminded about whatever they did to you. But in general, we like people more when we're more familiar with them. And the same is true when we're talking about brands. Same is generally true when we're talking about products. So simply being exposed to something repeatedly over time increases the chances that people will like you and increases the chances that you'll be able to persuade or influence that person. And this is a little bit undervalued, I would say, in the marketing realm because there's been this propaganda, I might call it, in favor of direct response types of marketing and away from brand awareness or brand marketing. But we do see that as you start to scale your marketing, the brand marketing, the awareness marketing does yield a lot more benefit at scale. So one of the ways that you can implement this is by launching campaigns on Facebook that are optimized for ad recall. So making sure that people, for example, see your brand or your product promotion once a day, once a week, once a month, something like that. So the frequency of your advertising is an important driver of whether you're able to influence the person. It's not just whether they respond immediately to your ad, but it's whether they've seen your ad multiple times. And it's very undervalued when we look at attribution and optimization with advertising. Is often all that we're measuring is direct responses. So did people sign up for a webinar? Did they sign up for a demo? Did they take you up on whatever your offer was? Maybe it was a price request or quote request, something like that. So one case that I looked at from a colleague of mine, he found that the ideal sweet spot for optimal customer acquisition was a frequency of around 6, and that's for a campaign that was between 1 and 2 months. So as long as prospects saw you around 6 times, that was the most cost-effective way to acquire them as a customer. So it's all about familiarity, and that's why branding and consistency becomes more important, because if you're constantly changing what your brand imagery is, or you're using different fonts, or using a different stock photography, there's an inconsistency there that makes it very difficult to create familiarity, to create likability, and hence to have enough influence over someone that they're willing to try your product, to buy your product, and to continue buying your product.